highly honored, and the successes, the history that Labour Party of Nigeria has recorded is unique and unprecedented. We presented forward in the last election, thereafter reduced to 6.1 million votes. And for that, I still remain Labour Party. The act of state capture is a more onerous task than causing disunity and disaffection governance to reconcile divergent opinions. I'm very, very proud to say that I did attend and they discuss other matters besides that. You are at liberty to restore yourself to your former position. I have attended and I have listened to the coalition attempts, yet I still remain in Labour Party. I am not one to sleepwalk into any political arrangements. I call on all well-meaning politicians and members of Labour Party not to sleepwalk and allow themselves to be led into what they still are not comfortable with. I must say, in the past, a coalition was made, and in the past, a sitting Nigerian government was voted out.
Watch football.
All right, that was Dati Baba Ahmed. Of course, we'll still take more of his reactions here on the show as we look at 2027, Peter Obi and the political gang-up. Because confusion has deepened at the National Executive Council NEC meeting of the Julius Abure-led faction. Dati insists that his involvement in coalition talks was in good faith and motivated by concerns, political arrangements, drawing
all of us together. I intend to reconcile. I recognize all that has happened relating with everybody's governance and ended up, and this I do void of any animosity of my boss. Everybody together to His Excellency Governor Peter Obi. He still understand each other better and move forward.
I also want to quickly also use the privilege and this opportunity to also welcome all members of his team who have accompanied him to attend today's NEC. I want to use this opportunity to acknowledge the presence of the National Working Committee members who are present in today's meeting. I want to welcome and appreciate all our state chairmen and our secretaries and all other stakeholders who have decided and created the time to be, that we have paid our dues in Labour Party. We have nurtured this party for many years, and by the grace of God, today, the party has become one of the biggest political party in Nigeria under my watch. And I want to say that in my honor, I cannot compromise the integrity, the program, the ideology that this party represents.
And there you have it. Julius Abure, of course, pledging on his honor that he cannot compromise the integrity of the Labour Party. Of course, the show is live and interactive, meaning that our studio line is open for your contributions to this conversation. Remember, we are looking at the conversation 2027. Obi and the political gang-ups. Now you have his 2023 presidential running mate, Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed, now aligning with the Abure-led Labour Party after having been seen with the Nenadi Usman-led faction of the Labour Party. Tensions seem to have escalated further, especially when some leaders within the Abure camp interpreted Dati's remark as a subtle dig at both factions and a veiled suggestion that Labour Party might not be able to go it alone in 2027. Party chieftain who one of the party chieftains who spoke under the subject of anonymity said that there is nothing wrong with Dati trying to unite the party, but it can't he can't fraternize with two opposing factions and expect not to raise suspicion. He must come clean, according to the party chieftain. Meanwhile, questions have also arisen over the loyalty of other prominent figures, including FCT Senator Ireti Kingibe, whose position in the party remains unclear. And so the confusion is unfolding against the backdrop of ongoing discussions about a possible mega coalition to unseat the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, in 2027. Although Peter Obi has not publicly spoken on recent developments, Dati confirmed during the NEC meeting that his former running mate remains with the Labour Party, a statement some read as damage control. Yeah, damage control. So, what do you think? I mean, it's looking as if there is a deliberate. Yesterday, I did ask a question: who is afraid of Peter Obi? I mean, quite clearly, that's the question. Who is afraid of Peter Obi? I think I need to play the reactions of my colleague Rufai Oseni this morning on the front page. Speculations that are making the rounds with regards to Peter Obi. I think beyond the question of who is afraid of Peter Obi, and beyond the fact that it is obvious that there is some kind of political gang-up going on within the political dynamics in the build-up to 2027, I think the most relevant question right now is, with the way it is looking, what platform will Peter Obi, if he so chooses, though he has said he intends to run for the presidency in 2027, what platform will Peter Obi find to be credible enough to be able to galvanize the kind of support we saw him galvanize in 2023, to be able to at least wrestle power from the ruling APC and, of course, from the incumbent President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Those are the pertinent questions on the table this morning. Remember, the studio line is live and active. You can be part of the conversation simply by dialing 0808 312 8618. 0808 312 8618, and you can be part of the conversation. Don't forget, tell us your name, location. Keep the conversation precise, and most importantly, let's keep it civil. Let's have a constructive conversation that just might give some inroads into what to expect, especially as the build-up to what promises to be a dramatic 2027 is in the offering. Right. So let's hear from my colleague Rufai Oseni again as he gives his own insight into this somewhat political gang-up against Peter Obi.
So I hear a lot of analysis, especially by people supporting the Atiku camp and some other camps, about why Obi, in fact, one of them said Obi will not get up to 2 million votes now, as at this point in time. At first, the person has no empirical backing to his thought process. And you see, we just make postulations that are not based on facts. So it's not by shouting or speaking highly at a high tone that brings votes during the election. It's the people that vote. Leading up to the 2023 elections, that's how a lot of people said, we will never get up to 1 million votes. And if he got 1 million votes, he will have done well, and he got 6.1. So let me tackle some of the erroneous thinking that they say. One of them said that the NSAS people wanted a neutral candidate, that's why Obi emerged. No. NSAS happened in 2020. Obi emerged leading up to the 2023 elections. And Obi emerged organically. Obi emerged many years ago as a candidate of transparency. One of his first public outings was the platform. That was one of the things that first gave Obi a lot of buzz as regards the things he did. And that was leading up to him partnering with Atiku in 2019. And prior to the elections, Obi had a series of sessions where he came to sell himself as a viable economic candidate and based on his integrity. So the idea of that the NSAS people co-opted Obi, I don't think that's true. A lot of the young people that supported him also, yes, were part of the NSAS movement, but a lot of people also forget that those in the NSAS movement also split. Some people in the NSAS movement also went to support, APC. So that idea that it was also totally the NSAS people, that idea falls flat on its feet. There are a lot of people that were key NSAS advocates that also split and supported the APC. That's one. Number two, they said the original appellation Obi got and the vote he got was because of IPOB and intimidation. There was nothing like that. So was the winning of Lagos in the election by Obi, was it because of IPOB too that Obi won Lagos? Let's not forget the fact that people organically came out to vote. And for the fact that it's from a certain region, definitely his arguments will reign supreme in those regions. And you cannot take that away from him. The third argument that they make is that of a Muslim ticket and the need for power to come to the South. Yes, a Southern candidate won in 2023. But a lot of people still feel disgruntled. A national poll recently gave approval rating of 37%, less than 40% to President Tinubu. So the question is, are people not suffering? So even if the power has come to the South, the argument is, for the power to remain to the South, a lot of people are saying, can we try something else? Some have a right to sit and President Tinubu should still sit in them, but some are also making the argument that can we try something else? And that argument is even against Atiku, because a lot of people will feel disgruntled in the South that it is the tenure of the South that the North wants to come and usurp. Just like how Wike went again and fought against Atiku in the last election when he did not emerge, which I feel was because of those selfish reasons. But his argument that he made and what he played on was because it was supposed to be the turn of the South and they yielded to Atiku in 2019. So, and also the talk about Muslim presidency is still rife. Despite the fact that Khan said, President Tinubu is doing well, he's done a lot of encouragement. See, for the sake of ethical balancing, we must have people, because Nigeria is multi-religion, we must have people from different ethnic religious inclinations there. It just shows the outlook of balancing. The question is, Those that are saying the Muslim presidency thing, Muslim ticket thing does not emerge again. Wait until we try putting or we advocate for a Christian presidential ticket. That's when you know that the sentiment is still right. So why do we like to deceive ourselves? Because we have inclinations. Because we have inclinations. Why do we like to now pander on this line of self-deceit? Because it's just self-deceit. So for a lot of people saying the best thing should be a vice presidential candidate, you are not God. A man that has tasted over 6 million votes, he should be a vice presidential candidate. At a time where the zeitgeist of the nation is that power should move south. This is the same argument that a lot of people have made since 2019. Atiku is the best person to beat any incumbent. Has he beaten any incumbent since then? Did he not lose to Buhari in 2019? That they went to court and they complained about, oh, card reader was it and everything. Did he not lose to President Tinubu in 2023? Atiku lost to President Tinubu at a time where he got a lot of support. In fact, some people argue that would have been his best time. So this argument that Atiku is the only person that can beat Tinubu, we've seen it in 2 election cycles. He's lost. All I'm saying is, whatever people are going to agree politically, the question is it in tandem with people that can really solve the problems of Nigerians? When the campaign starts, what will be the trading points? When the campaign starts, what will be the trading points? What are the yearnings of Nigeria? Who can solve the problem of poverty? Who can solve the problem of no water? Who can solve the problem of no power? Who can solve the problem of inadequacy? Who can solve the problem of pain? And that's what we should look at. So because people have one particular candidate, doesn't mean you should dampen the chances of the other candidate in the name of public analysis. Public analysis is public trust. And arguments have to be fair. Because I hear lots of these arguments. And when people put down, for me, I don't care who emerges from the coalition. But all I'm more concerned about is it in tandem with the public zeitgeist? And is that a good candidate that can be fielded to bring about a viral opposition? I think those are the arguments we should have. So I see a lot of people make these arguments, but they are not founded. And the next thing, somebody come out expressly to say, oh, if you check the Zyga, Obi cannot get 2 million votes now. Have you, what do you subject your empirical analysis to? Or you just whimsically put a figure up in your head? So where's the data that says, oh, Atiku will win the election? Because I see this level of demarketing. And for me, I'm just a voice of balance and a voice of reason. And all the arguments that were made falls flat. Obi won because of IPOB was in the southeast, harassed people and everything. No, he got organic love across board, and it is visible. So was it the state of the running mate of Atiku Abubakar in Delta State? Was it IPOB too that caused the win in a PDP state of Edo State? The South state that used to be there. So was it IPOB that caused the win? Was it IPOB that caused the win in Benue State? Was it IPOB that caused Governor Oton that I interviewed a couple of days ago to come out officially to say that I supported Obi in that election? He told me in an interview, I interviewed him. Let's stop making baseless arguments. Let's be fair and let us think straight in the arguments we make. I just need to say, because you see, political season, a lot of narrative will be flying around. And we need to check those narratives with counter narrative. Let your argument be fair. Just like how I interviewed somebody leading up to the last election, and they were making the argument, oh, you know, Jonathan came to disrupt the term of the North. They didn't complete that. That's what Atiku wants to complete now. They made that argument. Very soon they'll start making that argument again. Well, the question is, yes, it's skewed because that happened going forward. Because all of this coalition talk and everything is not important. As important as electoral reforms. Today, do you know that IREV is not covered in the laws of the land? BVAS is not covered in the laws of the land. So if you say you have a result on IREV, you can't produce it in court. And also, the idea that, election petitions, you will leave somebody to be sworn in, and afterwards they will do election petition against him. No, it's not done. They should conclude the election petitions before the person is sworn in, before that candidate elected is sworn in. Because once you swear that candidate in, he has power of incumbency. And he has power because he's there. So you must complete all election petitions before. And kudos to Monday Ubani. That's one of the things he's pushing with them Simon Dodo for electoral reform. And I also support that. They issued a press statement to that effect.
Luckily for me, I'm the city minister now. So yeah, it's my territory. I challenge that legislature if you are very, very popular. 2027, come around on Abuja, we will fail you.
Every weekday from 8 to 9 a.m. on Voice of the People, 96.1 FM Abuja, The Arena brings you the latest news, analysis, and debate on the issues that matter the most. Because even if you are going to prosecute the court, you need this out of evidence. Engage with expert guests, opinion leaders, and your calls. Join the discussion on politics, the economy, social justice, and more. Don't just listen, participate, call in, share your thoughts on topics that shape our world. The Arena, where ideas collide and the truth is revealed. Tune in weekdays 8 to 9 a.m. only on Voice of the People, 96.1 FM Abuja.
Of course, the camp of the Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 election, Peter Obi, has distanced itself from Monday's reconciliation meeting between his former running mate, Dr. Dati Baba Ahmed, and the Julius Abure-led leadership. The Labour Party has been engulfed in a leadership crisis, which intensified in April after three members insisted they were the rightful leaders of the party. This came after the Supreme Court disqualified Julius Abure, who is recognized by the Independent National Electoral Commission as the party's national chairman. Lamidi Akwata further complicated the issue, insisting that as the most senior member of the working committee, he was the rightful man to head the party following the Supreme Court's judgment. Meanwhile, there is the Nenadi Usman-led faction of the party, which has the backing of the Labour Party 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi and the Abia State Governor Alex Oti, while reacting to the meeting between Abure and Dati Baba Ahmed. The national coordinator of the Obedient Movement Worldwide, Dr. Yunusa Tanko, told The Punch yesterday, Monday, that the group remained firmly loyal to Governor Oti and the caretaker leadership headed by Senator Nenadi Usman. And when informed that some notable Obedient loyalists, including Hajia Nana Kazauri, attended the meeting, Tanko clarified that she did so merely as an observer. Earlier, we did report that Dati Baba Ahmed formally recognized Julius Abure as the authentic national chairman of the Labour Party during a meeting of Abure's National Executive Committee in Abuja. Reflecting on the 2023 elections, he said, and I quote, "We presented clear records and evidence of 10 million votes scored in the last election, thereafter reduced to 6.1 million votes. The act of the state capture is a more onerous task, causing disunity and disaffection within political parties," end of quote. That he said his mission was to reconcile all party factions. He also advised Labour Party members to be wary of alliances that do not reflect the party's value. Dati acknowledged the INEC recognized Abure-led executive, but also noted the presence of the Nanadi Usman group. He expressed confidence in Obi's commitment to the Labour Party. He pledged to unite the various camps within the party. In his response, Julius Abure welcomed Dati's reconciliatory efforts and extended an olive branch to Obi, OT, and other aggrieved members of the party. Abure also addressed the controversy surrounding his recent visit to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, a meeting that raised eyebrows within political circles due to its timing and secrecy. Of course, according to Dati, the meeting is privileged and therefore was, I beg your pardon, Abure, the meeting is privileged and therefore was purely a private meeting. Reaffirming his commitment to the Labour Party, Abure added, we have paid our dues in the Labour Party. We have nurtured this party for many years, and by the grace of God today, the party has become one of the biggest political parties in Nigeria under my watch, end of quote. So those are the developments, and especially as we continue our conversation, a sequel to yesterday. Yesterday, of course, we did ask the question, who is afraid of Peter Obi? Especially after the governor of Edo State, Monday Okpebolo, made that statement that continues to trend on social media, more or less a subtle threat, especially as news broke that Peter Obi had plans to visit Edo State, which he eventually did because the videos are out, everybody's seeing it on social media, and of course human rights organizations, several groups have demanded a public apology for the from the governor of Edo State, Monday Okpebolo, following what they have described as insightful and unconstitutional statement directed at former Anambra State Governor and 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi. So, today is going to be a potpourri of some of those reactions and comments. Of course, we brought you the actualities of Yusuf Dati and Abure. Let's hear Kenneth Okonkwo, one of the most vocal former members of the Labour Party, but still a strong supporter of the 2023 presidential candidate. Okay, before we take Kenneth Okonkwo, let's take this call from our caller. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, we lost that call. Please do try calling back. The studio line is live and active. The number to call is 0808-312-8618, 0808-312-8618. And of course, you can as well be part of the conversation by sending us a text message or WhatsApp message, as the case may be, whichever is convenient for you. But most importantly, if your call does get through, remember to tell us your name, your location, and of course keep the conversation concise, straight to the point, and most importantly, civil. Let's hear from Kenneth Okonkwo.
That he should not step into Edo State by a governor that is INEC produced, figure challenged, pinchomic and petite, and largely illiterate, like I said. Now, let me come in. By a governor that is INEC produced, figure challenged, pinchomic and petite, and largely illiterate, like I said. Now, let me come in.
Quite some adjectives there by Kenneth Okonkwo describing Governor Monday Okpebolo, especially after making those comments about Peter Obi. Okay, we have a call coming through. Let's hear from this caller. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, John, good morning.
Obed. Good morning, Obed. Nice to have you join us. How is Gwarinpa this morning? I'm all right. I'm stronger. Thanks.
Yeah, it's a rainy day today.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I just want to quickly comment on what Okpebholo said as regards to his unguarded statements. Okpebholo has failed in his responsibility, and Okpebholo forget to realize that this is a single man that came to his state to support an institution under his control, that he has failed to provide the necessary amenity for. And Peter Obi came and donated 15 million for an institution that Okpebholo is supposed to superintend over. And Okpebholo went to the public and started giving such unguided statement to threaten Peter Obi. Okpebholo should have used that same energy, lesser of that energy, to think on strategic actions that he supposed or he ought to have taken to provide or to provide governance in Edo State. Okpebholo should go to the same public to apologize to the people of Edo and Nigeria entirely. Because Okpebholo he failed in his responsibility. See, you know what? I have said time without number that the problem of Nigeria is not individuals like us, it's the political class. Because they have been able to capture the system to favor them. Okpebholo went to the media and made such statement, and he's still in the government house, Sadebe house. But if he had to be a private person, I guess the opposite would have happened to that person now. Okpebholo should apologize to Peter Obi, to Edo State citizens and Nigeria entirely. He should focus on governance. He should focus. He said he wants to become a governor. He should do the job. It's not by going to the public, by using Peter Obi to campaign. It's a shame. It's a shame. If Okpebholo has not been told what he should do, he should sit down and think. Even his communication commissioner even went to the public. Even when I even listened to his speaking, I was even ashamed of myself. A commissioner cannot even defend, cannot even answer a simple question in a public television. Could not. This guy saying, I don't know.
Okay,
Obed. The international community will just be laughing at Nigeria, saying a country that harbor the most intelligent people on earth, and they are being led by this kind of class of I don't even know the best adjective to use to qualify them.
Okay, Obed,
doesn't even have a single result to produce.
Let me ask you now, with latest developments. Just yesterday, Obi's running mate in the 2023 election, Yusuf Dati Ahmed, has seems to be aligning with the Julius Abure-led faction of the Labour Party. He has said he intends to run for presidency in 2027. From your standpoint, do you see some kind of political gang-up against Obi's chances in 2027?
Of course. It's not negotiable. It's quite fortunate that even the people that we are even banking on, that we even rescue Nigeria, and they have decided to align themselves with the same people that are against Nigeria. How can Julius Abure went even to go and visit Wike to discuss what? Why did he even go and discuss? What led to that discussion? So he has said he has come to that standpoint or to that crossroad that there's no future for him, so he has to quickly align with Wike so that he can be getting something or what. It's a shame on Julius Abure. He has betrayed himself, not we Nigerians. And his career has ended. Nothing for him again.
But the Independent National Electoral Commission seems to recognize Julius Abure-led faction, despite the Supreme Court judgment. So where is the missing link? Because the Supreme Court has made it clear that the Julius Abure-led leadership of the Labour Party has expired based on party constitution and all of that. But Julius Abure still holds his ground and claims that...
Dr. John, you know what? See, the problem of Nigeria is the judiciary. INEC and the judiciary, there's no alignment. INEC has one result. One information. The Supreme Court is giving a different version. So where's the alignment? So they all know what they are doing.
So there is a deliberate attempt. Does that suggest there is a deliberate attempt to scuttle?
The land has given judgment.
Yeah.
So what can we do?
Does that suggest that there is a deliberate attempt to scuttle possible opposition in the build-up to 2027?
That is what they are doing. That is just what they are doing. That before you know it, I have said it before. The coalition, Obi should not align himself because it's a ploy to destroy his political career. Before you know it, they will not give you ticket. If Obi should exit Labour today and said he's aligned with coalition with ADC, before you know it, they will not give him ticket. Atiku will do everything to stop him, and Obi will not have anywhere to run to. Automatically, his integrity will be stained. That's it. If I were him, I would stay in Labour and I will contest.
All right. Thank you so much, Obed. I appreciate your contribution. Obed reaching us all the way from Guarimpa. And of course, the phone line is still open. We have just about 2 minutes before we call it a wrap on today's edition of The Arena. Of course, we are looking at the conversation 2027, OB and the political gang-ups, especially in the wake of recent developments in the Labour Party, and of course before that, the comments made by Governor of Edo State Monday Okpebolo that continues to trend on the face of social media. All of that and more begins to suggest that there is more that meets the eye in the build-up to 2027, especially as Nigerians begin to follow the unfolding developments. On one hand, the coalition now using the platform of the ADC. On the other, you have the PDP, the People's Democratic Party. There are talks that they should reconcile with Peter Obi and bring him back to the party and possibly give him the presidential ticket for the party in the build-up to 2027. But let's not forget the puppet masters behind the scenes that continue to play all kinds of antics on the political chessboard. So all this and more, as always, we promise to keep our ears to the ground, searchlight beamed on developments as they evolve, and bring them to the fore right here on The Arena. And remember, I'm the man who holds it down in the center, ensuring that we shed as much light, peel the layers one after the other, looking at it from all perspectives so that you get every side of the story. I am Nkamiang John, the beloved, also known as the controversial. Thanking everyone for making out time. We apologize that the show came in slightly behind schedule. Of course, it's a wet Tuesday, and you can bear with us. But remember, keep warm. The NIMET has suggested that there will be a lot of rains this period. A number of states have also been flagged as possible flood flashpoints. So if you're living below sea level,